And it's an extraordinary opportunity that we've got our hands on here. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Does anybody have any questions about any of that? Can I answer any questions that anybody might have? Joy, any questions for you? No?
Now, if you really enjoyed one particular bottle of wine, can you receive that over?
That's a really great question. I'm glad you asked it, because a lot of people ask that question. I had the same question when I came into this. I'm like, okay, so if I fall in love with something, can I just get them to send me that same wine every month? Because, you know, I want it. It's great. And unfortunately, the short answer to that is no. But let me elaborate a little bit on that for you. So because it's a wine club, and because, as Jeff explained, they have small quantities from these mom and pop vineyards, these artisan boutique vineyards, it's going to run out. And so what they generally do is they buy enough for everybody to get some that month. And typically there's going to be some that's left over in the warehouse. So if you fall in love with something that you received this month and you really would like to get some more of that, my advice is always call them up immediately, say, hey, we really love this. How much of it do you have left? And then make another order and decide how much of it you want. You could get 2 more bottles, 4 more bottles. You could get a case, which would be 12. If you really loved it and you wanted to go big, you could get 2 cases of it. Because when you come into the business at certain levels, you get discounts at reorders. So you could probably get a full case of 12 bottles for 150 plus shipping. And that breaks down to $12.50 a bottle. But eventually, once you go through those 12 bottles, if you want to call them up 2 or 3 months later and say, hey, do you still have any of this left? More than likely by that time it'll be gone. Yeah. Now, it is possible that since we're developing these relationships with these wineries, that same winery is going to come around again next year with another yield. And it may be the same wine, it may be something slightly variant, and you may or may not fall in love with it as much as you did the first time around, we don't know. But that's kind of the nature of wine clubs. It's basically about variety and exposure to different palates and different flavors and different vineyards, different vintages. Great question.
Interestingly enough, Mike, that the next wine that we're going to drink, the red that we're going to drink, had that exact same thing that you said. People fell in love with it. Bruce and I both fell in love with it. Our friend Jim Mondi fell in love with it. I actually talked about it on a radio show that we do down in Port St. Lucie, and people were calling in that had fallen in love with it. It is absolutely a phenomenal wine. And you know, you called the couple days after it came in, once you tried it, and it was gone. I mean, literally. I tried to get an extra case. I was blessed because my friend Mari tonight brought a bottle up for us to try. And I literally did not think we could get another bottle of it. But luckily, she had another bottle. So you guys will get to try this wine tonight. And it truly is. And I'll go back out on the limb. I have a bottle in the other room in my wine cellar that's made from the same grape. It's made from Tempranillo. Tempranillo is the #1 grown grape in Spain. Tempranillo is it's a beautiful, fruity, yet dry wine, and the bottle of Tempranillo I have in the other room is about $1,800 a bottle. I was lucky in 1989, I could get 6 bottles of it for, I think I paid $5,000 for 6 bottles. They're about $1,800 a bottle now. I have 1 left for a special occasion. Maybe our wedding. I'm not sure when we'll open it. But the thing that I went out on the limb and said on this radio show is this stuff that we're going to taste next, this Tempranillo that we got from direct sellers, is probably 98% as good as this $1,800 bottle. Really? And that's what's amazing, because whoever made this, the guy, you know, the 3 Gs, you know, the grape Tempranillo, you have the ground, the mountainous area of Spain, but the guy that took the year to make this wine, it was his baby. I mean, he really made it to be something just completely special, and you guys will get to try that tonight. So it's really, really.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm looking forward to that.
Thank
you, Mari.
Thank you, Mari.
You're welcome.
One more thing I would like to throw out, and then I'll be done. Thank you for listening to me. I appreciate having the opportunity to speak to all of you fine people. So one thing I want to point out is that if any of you here are interested in participating with us, let us know before you go tonight. We'll whip out our phones and we'll get you set up with an order. But one thing I want to point out is it's not 100% necessary for you to throw wine parties at your house 2 or 3 times a month or anything like that to enjoy working this as a business. You can just sit down and talk to people across a table at lunch with your friends, or when you have your girlfriends over the house or boyfriends, whatever it is, your male friends over the house and you're having some wine, enjoying yourself. You just have conversations with people. So don't be intimidated by having to have a wine party and speak in front of people and know everything there is to know about wine. Jeff will tell you I know about 10% of what he knows about wine. Doesn't matter. I love the business. Mari, you don't generally even drink much wine, do you?
I do not.
One of the owners of the
I taste it, but
one of the owners of the company, and you guys might find this interesting for you folks that are here hearing this for the first time. Hi, Leslie, in case you see this. Leslie Cummings is one of the She saw this opportunity to get involved in this company, and she ran with it because she's a pretty smart business person, and she saw this opportunity and said, this is going to be really big. So she jumped on board, and she's out there every day working really hard to make sure this business runs solid, and she's a phenomenal person and doesn't drink wine. So if you want to get involved, do it your way, but take instruction, of course, from the people that are helping you out and teaching you what to do. You got to be open-minded. But it's very simple, and there's no one right or wrong way to promote direct sellers. It's do whatever you're comfortable with. Just share it with people. Simple as that. Okay, I'm done.
Right.
Thank you very much.
So we'll get to the first wine. I probably go into more depth about wines than most people do because I really love this. So, but you don't need to do this. Like Bruce said, you don't need to know a lot about wines. For those of you that are local, even for Mari that's down in West Palm, I know that Joy's interested in getting involved. Maybe you guys, Brandy and Mike, want to get involved, but I would be more than happy to come over to your house and bring some wine and share it with your moms and other people in your family if you guys decide, because if you guys get in, you get 3 people under you, then you get your shipment every month for free. Free wine is better than wine that you pay for. No matter what it is, free wine is always better than wine that you pay for. So the first one is really interesting because we're going somewhere that typically we don't think about for wine. We're going to South Africa. We're going all the way as south as we can go, down to the Cape.
I've been to Morocco.
What?
I've been to Morocco.
Morocco. So you're on the north side. So you're, we're talking, 1,800 miles south of where you were at. Down in Cape Horn, so down in the south part of South Africa. And so this is going to be growing in South Africa. And the grape is Sauvignon Blanc. The name of the wine is Mbasa. And Sauvignon Blanc is one of the varieties. It's actually called one of the noble grapes. It's one of the 6 grapes that are grown all over the world. United States has some great Sauvignon Blancs. Probably the most famous Sauvignon Blancs are coming from New Zealand. This one from South Africa is really nice. It's great for us in Florida. So anybody that's watching on Mari's live feed, or if she's taping this and sending it out on Facebook, Florida people, this is a great Florida wine because you can get it really, really cold and sit outside when it's really, really hot and enjoy this because it's really light. When you taste it, every time I talk about tasting, it's the 5 S's. So you look at it, you see what color it is, it's a nice light white, so it's going to probably have a light taste. Then you're going to swirl it to get the air into the wine, so then when you do sniff it, the 3rd S, you get that aroma, or what are called the notes of the wine. And when you get the notes, and for any of you, and for those of you that have tasted wine this way before, you'll get it. For those of you that haven't, you're a little bit of knowledge. But what you're going to get is those first things that you can smell. And for this, you're going to get a lot of citrus. You're going to get grapefruit. You're going to get some pineapple. You're going to get some lemon. And then you're going to sip and swallow and see if you like it. So cheers, everybody. Enjoy the Mbasa Sauvignon Blanc from South Africa. Cheers. Sauvignon Blanc is noted. So one of the first tastes that you'll get, and I'm trying to put it into your mind, so it might not be what you get, but they always say grapefruit and pineapple. So I don't know if you're getting those first notes in the flavor of grapefruit and pineapple, but that's very classic for Sauvignon Blanc. When you have to do these blind to pass your sommelier exam, that's one of the first things. If you're looking at a light white wine, you're going to think Sauvignon Blanc. You're going to taste it, and if you're getting that grapefruit and pineapple note, then you know that it's probably a Sauvignon Blanc. So this is a good example of that. Like I said, you can get it really cold, and you can drink it. You can drink it outside. So one that I know that we've talked about white wines before, because I don't remember what you used to drink, and then I bought you a bottle that you really like.
Yes.
And so here's another one on that
And I
list
like
that you're gonna like
Yes.
because I know what you like.
I'm not a big white wine drinker, but Sauvignon Blanc is one of the
It's my favorite Florida wine.
See,
Yeah,
I've
I
never
agree.
had it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sauvignon Blanc.
so-
So you're gonna get them from Washington State. You're getting them from California. You're getting some really great ones from New Zealand and Australia, and then here we're getting a really nice one from South
White
Africa.
one, yeah.
So,
It's not sweet.
yeah, so
Most whites are sweet.
Right, then.
It's like almost like a red,
Right,
but
and this is dry enough.
But not
it's
red.
dry enough that
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
sweet. There's no sugar. I mean, there's
Kinda
it's sweeter
refreshing.
than some of your dry wines.
kind of
but
refreshing. Oh, yeah.
It's
That's
very
good.
refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great Florida wine. Those of you that like sangria, be a great sangria wine. Add a little brandy, a little orange, some lemon, some strawberries.
That's
throw them
actually
all
what
in a
it tastes a little like
pitcher.
a white
Yeah, this
sangria.
could be pretty phenomenal sangria wine. So.
Isn't that what Charles makes your mouth like a white sangria?
So,
Yeah, fruit and stuff.
all right, let's move on to the second one, and I'm so excited. God, I love this next one. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna
Are
let
you finished with
I'm gonna
that?
let my beautiful friend Anne,
Thank you.
because she's standing there doing nothing, and
I gave it
Jennifer.
to.
everybody's gonna get a piece of cheese because I'm gonna go ahead and let.
Oh,
Which one's down this end?
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. They're all the same.
Joe,
Thank you.
This is just a sharp cheddar, Randy. And all I want you to do is I want you to
Welcome.
I just want to kind of cleanse your palate a little bit.
I'm straight. I don't like cheese.
Thank you.
I'm the distance that's American ever. Thank you.
Welcome.
thank you. Well, I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It is absolutely amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
Look at that. What an
Expert.
Can't wait.
Especially on the little bite of cheese.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad to have a chance to have this again.
All right, so we're lucky.
Smell
I
it.
called-
Smell it.
So I'll tell the whole story because I think Mari is videoing this. So we had our first tasting here. My friend Jim Mondi came up from Jupiter, Florida. Hi, Jim, if you get to watch this on Facebook. And this was one of the wines that we featured. And so I had never tasted it. I had tasted Tempranillo before. I liked Tempranillo. And we opened this bottle. And I took my first sip of it and was just absolutely blown away. And I looked at Jim, and Jim kind of had the same look on his face. And I said, this is absolutely amazing. And we both agreed. And we had then talked to Bruce, and Bruce had already tried it at his own home. And we agreed. So on Monday, following that, I called because I wanted 2 more cases of it. And it was gone because everyone had the same idea that this was just an amazing thing. So, once again, we're going to go through those 3 Gs. So the grape is Tempranillo, 100% Tempranillo from Spain. It's going to be grown kind of in the mountainous region of northern Spain. And then the last G, the guy just took whatever painstaking measures he could to make this just a phenomenal wine. Unlike what we're used to with American Reds. So, when we think of American Reds, we're going to think Merlot and Cabernet. Cabernets, you're going to get that rich, high tannin, and you're not going to get this in this wine. Probably did not leave the skins and the stems and the seeds on